Hey guys, Elizabeth Gwynn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my weekly What I've Been Warming, and I think I'm finally back on my regular-ish schedule of Mondays or Tuesdays for the filming. And I do happily have a report that at least my bricks have printed, and hopefully they will ship today. And maybe by this weekend I will have first sniffs. I know I'm probably not going to be the first one because they just seem to stall out in the packaging waiting for printing part of the queue last week, but they will be here hopefully sooner rather than later. So let's just dive right on in with the scent of the month, which I was super excited about last week when we did cold sniffs, and a whole bunch of other things, even some Yankees, some teddy bees, some random stuff where I don't even know where it's from, and we'll have a good old time with our wax. So let's start with that vanilla chestnut. This is really nice. It's a very homey scent. It's very warm. It's heavy. I think it might be best as a November scent, honestly. And typically, we get whatever the smell is, say the September scent of the month. That's called Spooky But Sweet this month. I'm loving that. Between the two of them, even though I really love this and I probably will club it, I like the Spooky But Sweet even better. And that's really an October smell, even though we're getting it to purchase in September. So I think that's kind of how the scent of the month sort of goes, is that it's a month ahead so that you can enjoy it in the month when it would be most appropriate to melt or use the warmer. So this vanilla chestnut definitely has a hint of spice, but it's got a really nice heavy roasted note and then sort of an interesting woody perfumey chestnut. Now it's not woodsy, it's a very rich heavy smell, but it's really comforting. My husband really wanted me to try this when I said, go find me a bar, and he brought this, and I was kind of surprised. I thought he'd pick something more green, or he loves his lemon, but he really enjoyed that too. So everybody in the family was pretty happy with that. Now, another day, and it's a good medium strong throw. You don't need a ton of cubes, and it will go for a long time. Gingerbread pecan waffles and pumpkin cinnamon swirl. I just wanted really good fall bakery, and there's a lot of heavy ooey gooey fall stuff going on in this particular week's What I've Been Warming roundup. But the gingerbread pecan waffles, like Stroopwafel Delight, which it does remind me of, just a lighter version, it's really saturated and heavy out of the gate. And then this one doesn't really last a super long time. I would say Stroopwafel, just because of the absolute powerhouse bar that it was, had more of a lingering effect, although no bakery bar lasts as long as other types. This gingerbread pecan waffles, though, was just delicious and decadent. It had that wonderful waffle note, a nice sweetness, a little bit of nuttiness. And it settled down after, I'd say, 4 to 6 hours, and then it was sort of a light, vague bakery scent in the house, but it was so good when it was super strong. Now, pumpkin cinnamon swirl is usually a good medium performer for me. This bar way outperformed the norm. It was so strong that I could taste it, and I had to turn it off the first day I was using it. So I melted this for 2 solid days. So this is the sweetest, gooeyest, sticky pumpkin cinnamon swirl bun that you can get from Scentsy. It's definitely heavy on the bakery. It's very nice, and it's an extremely, again, saturated type scent when you get one that had that much scent oil in it. I just couldn't even believe how well that particular bar performed. It was good. So then another thing that I did just a couple of cubes of was salted caramel toffee. This is one I've gotten a couple of from my mother-in-law, who has it in her club. And this is just a nice, it almost seems like there's a little bit of cocoa sprinkled in with the gooey salted caramel, cupcakey scent. It's on the older side as far as the scent profile, and I have a craving for it occasionally. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's really good with coffee, or it's really good with other heavy bakery like I was doing in the house that day. Now, I had a day where I did 3 different bars. 2 of them I did mix together, and it was a shocking revelation how good it was. So I have Sticky Cinnamon Bun in my club. This is a bar where typically what you get from it is the heavy vanilla icing and a very good strong bakery cinnamon. It's one of the longest lasting bars I have in my club or in my collection as far as Scentsy, period. It's a very good bar. But I usually don't get the baked good bun part of it very much. On a whim, I thought, you know what? Johnny Appleseed I don't do a lot with, but I mix it. So let's do something crazy and mix 1 cube to 2 cubes and see what happens. And I got the most wonderful apple cinnamon roll, almost coffee cake type thing. If you have both of these bars, 2 sticky cinnamon bun to 1 Johnny Appleseed, I loved it. The performance was phenomenal because both of those bars are stellar as far as throw and longevity, and it went and went. I did not want to take it out of the warmers. I think I'm going to order another bar of Johnny just so that I can do that again in October. It was so good. And then on the same day, I put a few cubes of cinnamon buttercream, which I do not have in my club anymore either. One of my friends was so sweet and did a bar swap and gifted me a few of these. But this was really nice to compliment them because this is a sweet, smooth mascarpone cream cheese and cake scent with a little sprinkling of cinnamon sugar, and it was more mellow than these other two, but this was a great day and different than what I typically do. It was lovely. So again, if you want to try the mix, 2 cubes of sticky cinnamon bun to 1 cube of Johnny Appleseed. If you have another really strong cinnamon bakery scent, I bet you could do the same thing. But that specific one made the bun part of sticky cinnamon bun very obvious in the warmer. Somehow the apple pushed that forward and it was so, so good. Okay, a couple other things that I am doing. I think today I have some sparkling spice citrus in a couple of the rooms. I just needed something lighter and brighter because I did a ton of bakery this week. This is so good. This is Current Harvest Catalog. You've got to try this. It's a beautiful, sweet, sparkly mandarin and sugar scent with just a little bit of currant and just the tiniest pinch of clove. It's phenomenal. And then to ground it, I did just a couple cubes, 1 cube in each warmer out here, of Sips of Cider, which is an old bar that's a bit more tart. This is really heavy. This has like a blood orange and ginger and maybe a little bit of a cardamom smell. It is not as sweet and bubbly as the sparkling spice citrus, so it balanced it well. And that makes a really nice happy day in the house. Now, I've been trying to get through more of my Sweet But Spooky because I've got several of them for the month. This is the current scent of the month, and as I already said, I'm loving this bar, you guys. And I am much, much improved when it comes to my cold, but I'm on the very tail end where it's kind of drying up, and so my throat's kind of dry today. Well, I feel so much better. Anyway, Spooky But Sweet. It's got the caramel. It's got the nutmeg. It has this beautiful bakery, sugary vanilla thing. It's delicious, and it almost smells like a caramelized pumpkin creme brulee. It's delicious. Love, love, love. That went into my bi-monthly club, and so did Apple Spice Season, at least for the moment. I may move Apple Spice into the quarterly. I got to see what happens with how much I like the scents that are coming in bricks, how much I like the scents of the season, which will be coming in the not too distant future. There's so many things coming down the pike. There's a Disney collection coming. It's all bakery. It's going to be so good. That's in October sometime, I believe. So what's next? I got out some Cozy Spice, which is in my quarterly club. This is a bar I've been holding on to in my club for many years. I think this went into my club the first year I started it. Whenever we had this 5-bar bundle collection that was around Christmas time years ago, there's Cozy Spice, Cozy Cabot, Cozy Cashmere, Cozy Cranberry, Cozy Cookie. They were all good. This one has stayed because it is almost like a creamy spiced cup of tea with a whole bunch of nutmeg shavings, and it's lovely and just homey anytime I melt this. But it's an old bar. See, it doesn't even have the little indents in the bottom for all the different scent notes that we have now, and they haven't even poured updated bars of that. I have to wonder how they have so much stock of that that's so old, but it still performs perfectly because it's a spice bar. If that was a citrus bar, I'd be a little worried, but since these spices, I think they could last in an Egyptian tomb. They're so good. They hold their scent very well. Okay, one day I was doing butter pecan, don't remember what with, but it was lovely. This is in my bi-monthly club. It's just such a happy smell. At one point, its description was the flagship fragrance of fall, and it has that nutty, toasty, beautiful, buttery, sandy pecan scent, and then almost like an ice creamy base. It's just glorious, and it's the best in cooler weather. It's good anytime, but it's so good. Then our new one, which goes beautifully with that, is Vanilla Amber. This is just as wonderful as butter pecan, but it's more sophisticated. So this has rum and amber in with the vanilla bean buttercream base. I cannot get enough of this. I definitely need another bar. It's delicious. Then I was working on my clam of farm stand pumpkin for a couple weeks. I don't know where I tossed this in, maybe in the kitchen just to kind of clean up the clam. I'm at a point now where I'm realizing I have a lot of bins of half-used and 3/4 used clamshells. And I used to discipline myself to put them all in one spot in the basement and then melt those out in the basement until I was done with them. But I've gotten more varied in the different things that I melt now, so I get more distracted and forget about those because I want to melt some teddy bees or I want to melt some Yankee or whatever, and I'm not finishing off these little languishing clams, and they're multiplying into many baskets. So I need to be better about just using a whole clam and throwing it away, is what I'm trying to say. So next, I was doing some Autumn Blaze Maple. You'll probably see this almost every week for the next couple of months. This is just one of my favorite bars. It's in my quarterly club. It's just so good. It's warm. It's got the maple. It's got the wood. It's got the pumpkins. It's got the fresh cinnamon. It's got just a pinch of sort of an outdoorsy, maybe buy a maple syrup shack in the fall kind of a thing, although maple syrup is produced in the spring, but just go with it with me. It's so nice. Okay, so after all the Scentsy in the main spaces, I was doing Autumn Nature Walk for one of my kids in the basement because everybody was sick all week. My older daughter had to take a couple days off from her bank job. My younger daughter's been battling with this thing for so long. She's the one that's the most recovered, and she just started a gym membership today, and she's all excited about working out. They're so different. I cannot even tell you. I'm sure if you have children, you marvel at how each one is just totally different than the other. Like, God broke the mold for sure and never created another one just like that, whichever child. So older child was in the basement watching Hallmark mysteries to keep herself sort of occupied while she was languishing. Autumn Nature Walk was the right thing for her because it was sort of nondescript and fresh and outdoorsy and made her feel better. So this is vaguely like Eucalyptus Wraith, which we're going to talk about later, that I put in the bedroom for my husband. I mean, we were truly like all dying this last week. But this one's more woody and definitely not quite so minty. Like the other one's got some mint in it. But she thought it just made her feel much better, and it was relaxing, and it went for a couple days down there. I think this was from 2 or 3 years ago, and I have no idea what's in it, but it definitely matches the picture on the packaging. Now, another thing I was doing that was Yankee was pumpkin banana scone. This is still available on the website where I will normally grab my clams of Yankee. They didn't carry it this year on the floor at the Myers that I'm the closest to, but I got a good bit more from the website itself. This bar, or wax melt clam, or whatever you want to call it, is one of my favorite fall things from Yankee. I have always wanted an authentic banana nut bread type smell. Personally, the Scentsy one is only okay for me, like I'll melt it, but it's not my favorite. This is my favorite banana scent of all time because it has real bakery goodness, gorgeous cinnamon, like classic cinnamon, nice pumpkin, and it's just beautiful. So if you can get your hands on some of this, I strongly recommend. Out of all the things that I melted this week, this is really a standout, and I don't have enough Yankee to do a dedicated video on that. I wanted to know what you guys think. I know that I try to do various videos throughout the season, especially fall and holiday, where I'm highlighting bars for various reasons. Would you like a top 10 of my favorite Scentsy for fall type video things, or maybe a mixing fall video, things like that? Let me know in the comments if you want me to do those in the next couple weeks. And then I am going to be doing a top 10 of my Teddy Bees collection just for fun for fall video. I think I'm going to film that after this one if my voice will hold up, because I've collected quite a bit of that over the course of a little over a year, and I have enough to do a genuine top 10, like I really like these scents video of that particular company. And it'll be really fun. It's a great vendor. So, last but not least from Yankee this week, Warm and Cozy. One of the days that my husband was down there, I think on Sunday, just watching football or whatever, I put this in. This is another one kind of like the Autumn Nature Walk where it's vague. I don't know what's in this. It's just woody, a little bit campfirey. It's warm and cozy, just like it says, right? But it was the kind of thing where he doesn't know exactly what's going on any particular day of the week, and he liked it, so he was happy with that. But I did a complete revamp of the basement over the last week and a half. I got everything just the way I want it. I need to take a few more pictures because I tweaked some stuff and I did something extra to the mantle and I like it better now. But I put my Tangled Web warmer and my Oh, what's the other one? The Tiger Eye pumpkin warmer on my mantle down there. Did everything in black, white, and orange. Really had some fun because I don't traditionally decorate for Halloween specifically, so I normally won't go for that color palette, but it looks really cool in my basement. And then I did, oh, what is the name of that warmer? I've got a couple of very old warmers that the opulence warmer or the elegance and opulence warmer, something like that. This gorgeous purple thing that we had in clearance for a long time, and it's got gold leaves on the side. I put that in the other part of my basement, and then my old, I think it's golden glow leaves or golden leaves, something or other, on another shelf. And it has this really nice, very warm glow from all these warmers down there because it has the reddish purple glow from the opulence warmer and the new Tangled Web, and then the more toasty golden orangey color, and then the red from the Tiger Eye and this other one whose name I'm forgetting that's orange and it's got a leaf print on the sides. So pretty. So I'm rambling, but it was really fun to do all of that, so I picked a very specific melting scheme when I put it all together and sent the family downstairs to celebrate the fact that Mommy actually got it done, because I don't know how it is that some years you have less time to do the things you want to do than others. It's been a very challenging year for me to decorate with the kind of heart that I used to have just because there's so much other stuff going on. Anyway, so I put the Tiger Eye pumpkin and the Tangled Web up on the mantle, started decorating, completely forgot to check the dish on the Tangled Web. No, on the Tiger Eye pumpkin, because I've had that for a long time, right? And I'm working on other things in the basement, doing arrangements, putting in the lights. I start to smell something, and I'm like, it smells like fairy tale pumpkin in the basement. Is my mind just going crazy? And then I went and I checked the dish on my Tiger Eye pumpkin. And I had left the only wax in the whole house that was fairy tale pumpkin was this couple of cubes that I had left in this dish that I guess I had pulled that out probably for a video like this last year and forgot to clean the dish out. And it was so cool because that scent, which I have no more of, and it's kind of a weird one, is so specific to trick-or-treating. I went when I was a little kid, had the best time. And it's like you have your nose in the bucket of candy, and it's got to be the jack-o'-lantern, you know, the plastic jack-o'-lantern with the grin on the front. And that fairy tale pumpkin smell, which is like licorice and blueberries and pumpkin and other weirdness, it totally smells like you are doing a candy swap with that bucket with your best friends. Totally took me back. But I didn't have any more, so I had to figure out what else am I going to put down here. Oh, and I also put out my gingham gourd, and I put out my little mini warmer that is the little coffee cup. That's black, white, and orange, and I just wanted pumpkin heavy goodness for the basement. So I grabbed my Teddy Bee's Pumpkin Woods and put that in a few warmers, not all of them, because this is an interesting smell that I do like, but all by itself it can be a little bit sharp. Pumpkin spice, sandalwood, patchouli, tobacco, palo santo, and winter woods. And it might be the winter woods that gives it just that little sharp edge, but it's good. But I wanted to mellow it out, so I grabbed Everything Nice, which this is the second week I've talked about this in a row, which is more of a really deep, roasty, toasty pumpkin guts, caramelized pecans, and heavy, just decadent, gooey, scentsy pumpkin smell. And this was perfect against that Pumpkin Woods. And then just to go over the top, I also added a couple cubes of Forever Fall in the warmers that were farther forward in the basement, because the basement area, if you're not an Instagram person, my Instagram is just Elizabeth Scenes and Scents with the little underscore lines in between the words. And my daughter doesn't do my videos anymore, so I can't figure out how to attach that end card on to save my life, but that used to tell you how to get to Elizabeth Scenes and Scents, so I need to figure out a new way to put that in so you guys can still check things out on Instagram if you don't just know that it's Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. So the Forever Fall was in the front part of the basement, which when you see the pictures from Instagram, it's a large open space, and I have some customized curtain things I had my dad make when he used to be more crafty and more agile. He slowed down a lot at 84. I love him, but he just can't do what he used to be able to do. So he hung these rods with big heavy curtains for me so that I could close off the back half of that where the television is and just keep the heat in there. And then the front part used to be more of an office, which we don't really use now, and so now it's become kind of a pretty storage area with a big set of cabinets that I decorate on the top, and a shelf that used to be up here, and a giant chair that's been sitting kind of in the middle of the way, and I make it look pretty for years. So I had the Forever Fall just in that front section in front of the curtains. And this, oh, between this and Everything Nice, I'd have a hard time choosing. The Forever Fall is very similar, but it's even more buttery and rich. And there's a cinnamoniness to this. This is almost like a bowl of pumpkin that you're going to pour into your pie shell. Oh, it's so good. So this, Forever Fall, the Everything Nice, and the Pumpkin Woods, like we were all in pumpkin spice, heavy, deep, sugary, brown wonderland in the basement for a couple days. And everybody said it smelled good, the whole family. So now, I have been rambling and rambling, but it's fine, right? I'm finally feeling better. So what else was I doing? On Saturday, I got brave and I cut into a loaf from Teddy B's that I had been holding on to for a few months. Haral Fine Hair. This is one that has gotten a lot of hype. It was sort of like this year's Whipstaff Manor. And this one is warm chestnuts, smoky woods, sweet vanilla, which is the by the fireplace type, and I wear that perfume. I love it. Cashmere cedar, and frosted sugar cookies. Now, many people have said that when they try to warm this, they're not getting great performance. So I definitely wanted to give it at least a few months to cure before I even attempted to use it. It's a beautiful smell. I feel like it almost leans more winter than fall, but there's a very good sugar cookie base, and then there's all that subtlety from all those other scents. You get the chestnut, you get that little bit of smoky woods, you get the vanilla, and the cashmere cedar, and it's almost like there's a little bit of deep spice in here too. It's just lovely. But knowing that there was a sugar cookie note, I did not mix them, but I paired it with Scentsy's Good Old Sugar Cookie, which is the best smell. I hadn't melted this in months. If you've never tried sugar cookie, I understand that it's a little bit difficult to get it because you would have to have a club subscription. But if you like vanilla bean buttercream, but sometimes you wish you had a good authentic vanilla cookie scent instead of a frosting scent, you have got to, just even a one-time shipment, order a couple of these bricks. This is my favorite vanilla smell, bakery-wise, that I have in my collection from anybody. It's just darn good. So I had this and this in alternate warmers all over the house on Saturday, and it was wonderful. So the Haral Fine Hair itself is not an extremely strong scent, and you would think with all those notes that it would have a robustness, maybe more like that vanilla chestnut that I was talking about from Scentsy. It's a more subtle smell, but you can still smell it. And paired with that sugar cookie, it was phenomenal in my home. I think I would prefer that November, December, January as far as when is it at peak season where I feel like it's just right. I'll melt it a couple more times in the fall, but I'll probably truly go through it this winter. It's a lovely smell. You just can't expect it to be a boomer, but it's present, it's there, and it's beautiful. So then I was really curious because my friend Robin had sent me, I don't even know who this is as far as what company, but she sent me a while ago this little chestnuts roasting on an open fire, very much like the by the fireplace type snap bar kind of a thing. So I melted this the other day also to compare, and this is a lot creamier. I think I prefer the Haral Fine Hair, but this was nice too. It was that same sort of creamy bakery, roasty toastiness that's also got that either cookie or frosting note to just make it not aggressive, and it was really nice. So last but not least, I've got 4 things I was doing in the bedroom as we were all trying to recover from our colds. Eucalyptus wreath I did for Greg, and this is just so nice. One night he's just like, I am so done after a hard day of carpet cleaning. He said, I'm not even going to go to the gym. I'm not going to do anything. I just want chicken soup and I want to go to bed. When your husband, who is an extremely hard worker, says that, you know he's sick. So I put the eucalyptus wreath in there, and this has mint and juniper and beautiful, sweet, gentle eucalyptus. It's earthy. It's not like super medicinal. And this was so relaxing and nice, and I think it helped him just float off to sleep. Another day, I put some pink leather in just to mix it up because there's so much bakery and so much spice going on right now. I wanted to change. And this is a really pretty scent. It was an August scent of the month a while ago. So this one has, strawberry, vanilla, like a toasted vanilla, and a leather scent. And it's nice. I would buy another bar of that if I saw that in a flash sale or something. I also got through the rest of a Honeycrisp Harvest, which was our August scent of the month this year. Beautiful smell. This mixes very well with the other one that I was doing, and I wasn't mixing these, but I did Scarlet Sunflower for a couple days just to use up a couple of those annoying cubes like I was talking about earlier, and Honeycrisp Harvest another day where I had 1 or 2 cubes left, and I put those in a couple warmers. This is a beautiful body care apple. And this is a beautiful soft fall floral with cranberry and apple and things like marigolds and mums. So nice. Oh, sunflowers. I'm sorry, sunflowers. Beautiful smells. So that is everything that I have been warming. And this was a really fun, chatty kind of a video. So I'm going to pause, turn off the camera, and change my table and try to tackle my favorite top 10 teddy bees for fall. And then because I couldn't decide, I think I'll also bring up the rear of the video with a top 10 of transitional teddy bees where it'll be good either fall or winter, because I have actually collected a decent amount of their wax at this point and they're very interesting. So I will talk to you guys soon. And the bricks, I hope that I get them by Saturday, because it would be a good day to film, I think, or Friday. Friday would probably be better because I don't think Greg's working on Saturday, and trying to get these videos done while the family is in the house is like, Anyway, love you guys. Thank you very much for all of your sympathy and support as I was trying to film last week and sounded like a frog and worse. So you guys are very, very encouraging and supportive, and I appreciate you very much. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.